Full-blown acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5 with the TRD off-road package. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Brent Brown Toyota here in Orem, Utah for giving me some time with this Tundra. Check out the inventory in the description down below, and this one is actually their test drive vehicle, so if you want to drive the new Tundra, come and visit them and you can test drive this one. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. So under the hood, we have a twin turbo 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 389 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque. And I love how it says twin turbo. Now let's go over the front end of the Tundra, and this one's finished in one of my favorite colors. You guys can see, of course, is green. So anyways, you guys can see on either side of the hood it is raised. I love the body lines. And then coming down below, we've got the LED lights here, and then notice with the orange accent light off to the side, you've got the venting right here, similar to the 4Runner actually. And then also got the TRD logo right there with the Toyota logo. And then notice we've got the massive front grille here with the Tundra. And then notice the fog lights are also LEDs, which is great. And so you can see all the chrome all around, and yeah, there's the front end. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. You guys can see the wheels have that cool off-road type design because again, this is a TRD off-road. So you've got the black in the center and then the silver on the outside. And you can see we've got a little bit more aggressive tires. We've got the blue Bilstein shocks that also come with this package. And then notice here with the fender flares, got the Tundra badges blacked out, the mirrors as well. We have our blacked out SR5 badge. Then if we take a few steps back, here is our full side view with the Tundra. I definitely like here with the body line on the front and the rear. And then we have our TRD 4x4 off-road sticker to let everyone know that you got Bilstein shocks underneath. We got the new 5-link coil suspension that comes with the Tundra as well. And there you go. Now here is our key fob, blank on the back, and then you guys can see here on the front we've got the lock, the unlock, and then we've got the drop down for the tailgate. We have a payload capacity of 1,395 pounds. That was also extremely quick. And you guys can see we've got the composite bed set up, so everything's already protected. LED cargo light there at the top, and when you're all done, lifting up the tailgate, easy to put into place. And then let's finish things up here with the rear of the truck. So you can see again blacked out badges, Tundra stamped here into the bed. We've got more chrome here at the bottom, and then receiver hitch there in the center portion. Towing capacity still right around that 10,000 pound range. And overall, I think it's great looking from a rear perspective. I love the new taillights on the Tundra. I think that's a cool look. And then you guys can see the little exhaust tip poking out the side, and then notice the splash guard as well. It's also on the front, but there you go. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see here, pretty basic from a material standpoint, but we do get some nice padding where you're gonna rest your arm. And then here are the rear seats. You can see cloth here and then all down the center and then on either side as well. And then there is storage space underneath the seat. And then notice we got the floor mat, which step in. Got the nice grab handle to help out. Legroom is great. Headroom, great as well. And then you guys can see the cup holders. And then we've got storage space and vents. Now, a lot of people have been asking if this is smaller than the previous Tundra. I think technically spec-wise it is, but like this feels super spacious back here. Like I feel like I'm in like a nice, comfy, reclined position. So I wouldn't say that the new Tundra is small by any means from a rear space perspective. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. We actually get padding here at the top and down below for the front. Got all of our window controls here with the mirror adjustments, and then here's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then here's the front seat, so you guys can see here full cloth, and again you got the cool design here on either side, and then cloth there all in the center. The seat is manually adjustable. Really nice pedals down below. Got our heated steering wheel control right here, stuff for like the auto stop, start, the lights, cargo light, all that fun stuff. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. There's where I'm gonna look before we pop in. So here is the steering wheel with the Tundra. We have leather here at the top and at the bottom. Perfect leather here on the sides. This does have lane departure and adaptive cruise control, and then leather all around the airbag cover as well. volume, voice command controls, all that fun stuff. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and yeah, there's the steering wheel. So here is the center gauge cluster. You can see analog gauges on either side, and then we have that screen there in the center. Now this truck only has 396 miles. I don't know what the driving's been like, but there's what this is showing fuel economy wise. Don't know what that, or how accurate that is to real life. So yeah, but you can scroll through a bunch of different menus there. Nothing too crazy with that whole setup. We do have some different drive modes we can go between. We have our normal, sport, and eco that you can go through. And yeah, there you go. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, I'm going to pop it into reverse. So we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel, and resolution on the camera is really solid. Moving from that to the rest of the screen, first off, touch response time of the screen is fantastic. It's like instantaneous. And the thing about this little screen is it has all of the benefits of like the big screen in terms of like response time and everything that you can pretty much access. It just is in a smaller size that I think looks nicer in the dash. And yeah, there you go. So you guys can see here, we've got our climate control down below, single zone climate here in the Tundra. We have our locker for the rear, and then you can see here with the hazard light stability control, we've got our auto hold parking brake, TRD shifter, which definitely has a nice feel to it. Notice the doors instantly lock and unlock. We have our drive line select, we have our drive mode select, tow haul mode select, and then our off-road stuff like crawl control, and everything's on this dial, so it's pretty easy to access everything. And right now we're in 2-wheel high, so we can't access these two features. Notice we got a couple cup holders, and then center console window, but you can open it up all the way, which is kind of like a cool thing with the Tundra center console. It's got some USBs in it. And then we have our glove box, storage space just up above the glove box as well. There's a 12-volt right there. And then popping here up to the top, you guys can see lighter colored headliner. And I believe we've got fixed rear glass. So there's another thing, and there you go. So before I go over the window sticker, trailer brake control, just down below the TRD. Button there for the engine stop start. Anyways, here's a window sticker. So feel free to freeze frame if you need standard equipment. Then we've got the optional equipment on this particular one. So the TRD off-road package is a $2,000 option. So again, notice that it gives you all the off-road stuff that we went over, like again, the Bilstein shocks, the more aggressive tires, the cool looking pedals, the multi-terrain select, which is kind of like your off-road drive mode stuff, crawl control, and all that fun stuff. And then heated steering wheel has been added to this particular one. And you guys are probably wondering why it says track program, fleet credit. Again, this is a test drive vehicle. So this is not like a regular vehicle that's sold to the public, but again, you can test drive it. But anyways, still has normal MSRP here, $49,910. Let's take it out and drive it. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So we are setting off here in the Tundra TRD off-road, and this is actually the second time I've driven a TRD off-road, but this is the first time that I'm driving it on-road, where I'm actually going to be able to get on it and everything, because again, this is supposed to be a test drive vehicle, so I don't have to like hold back or anything with the driving. So I really appreciate that, Brent Brown, for having one of these. Anyways, first off, steering with the Tundra. Feels like normal truck steering, right? It's light. It's not the most direct, but definitely, I mean, compared to like the older Tundra, it's such a big improvement in terms of directness and the overall feel. So I think that's great. The new coil suspension also does a really good job of soaking everything up, which is another big improvement. I can tell when you go over bumps and everything, it just feels smoother, and the back end just stays planted, which is definitely a big positive. We're gonna pop it over to the sport mode. Instantly gets more aggressive, like downshifts, and it's like, yeah, let's see what eco mode does. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm actually gonna punch in eco mode and see. Oh yeah, it definitely like calms down the throttle response when you're in the eco mode. Yeah, definitely there is a difference with the eco and the sport mode in terms of, you know, how quick that throttle response happens. So I think that is interesting. Turn signal sound is interesting as well. Be interesting to see how it does over this little bump here. Wow, this thing's quick. And that was just partial throttle. But wow, this thing's quick. Yeah, really good over the train tracks too. I'm impressed with that. This is going to be a longer test drive because, again, this is the first time that I've had a chance to like really get some good seat time with the Tundra. The first time I drove one was the TRD Sport, and it was like I had to quickly get it in it, you know, back, whereas this I can actually spend some time with it. This is so comfortable. Yeah, this feels like again, I said this in other Tundra reviews, this feels like a truck made by a completely different manufacturer almost. Like, just with how smooth and comfortable this is. Like, this is not what the old Tundra is like. The old Tundra is like clunky, and it's not like it's a bad truck, right? Super reliable, but this just feels so much more refined. Like, as many miles as I drive a year, right, I would actually be okay with daily driving this. Whereas the old Tundra, I don't know, especially on the highway, not so sure. This, on the other hand, though, it's definitely appealing. Okay, gotta get our full-blown acceleration here. That's quick. It's quick. It's definitely quick. I'm gonna pop it in the manual mode, see how the 10-speed does. Oh, there's just one person behind us. That won't let me downshift. It's like, nope. So the shifts are super smooth. They're not necessarily like quick by any means, but they're smooth. So the shifts have that. Interesting how this powertrain is. It feels so much different than Ford's, actually. I expected this to feel very similar because, again, it's a twin turbo 3.5 liter V6, so Ford has, but yeah, it seems like it feels just significantly different. It seems like Toyota's just tuned this. Yeah, a lot different. Yeah, so I'll pop it back into automatic mode. And no paddle shifters or anything, so obviously got to just use the shifter there. So I guess we'll get into summing things up here with the Tundra. First off, exterior-wise, I think the new Tundra looks great. I've heard, you know, varying opinions, but especially compared to the old Tundra, like, this looks so much better. From an interior perspective, they definitely brought things up, but obviously that's come with a higher price. So what I was saying is the Limited in the previous generation was about the same price as what this is SR5 TRD off-road, right? So there has been a price increase, but the changes are so substantial that I'd have to say it's worth it. Again, this drives smoother, it's quieter, feels like a much more modern vehicle. The powertrain is so much better. Everything about this truck's better. Again, this is a huge change. This is as big as the change when Ram went from the 2018 model year to the 2019 with the new body style. This is, I'd actually have to say, this is even a bigger change than that. Yeah, and going over that stuff, like, it doesn't wheel hop or anything because of the coil suspension. Like this, it's just such a nice truck. It drives so well. I'll be excited when I can take one of these off-road in the near future. But yeah, that's the new TRD off-road, and, you know, better driving impressions with the new Tundra. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this Tundra. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Brent Brown Toyota here in Orem, Utah for giving me some time with the Tundra. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.